Cracking the Security Plus 701, a walkthrough of key concepts from a practice exam. If you're prepping for the CompTIA Security Plus exam, you probably realize it covers a wide range of cybersecurity topics, from access control and encryption to phishing attacks and disaster recovery. I recently went through a Security Plus 701 practice exam, and it's packed with insights that can really sharpen your understanding of core security principles. Here's a casual walkthrough of what I learned, broken down into key themes: access control and authentication. First line of defense. Several questions focused on how we keep unauthorized users out, or at least catch them trying. One scenario involved a company using cloud storage for financial data. The best way to detect suspicious access wasn't multi-factor authentication or physical controls. It was an IDS, intrusion detection system. Another question highlighted how weak password rules could easily be exploited. Also, when a laptop went missing, the first thing to do wasn't to change passwords. It was remotely wipe the data to prevent a breach. And when a system had a flood of failed admin logins, classic brute force attack. Last but not least, when integrating cloud services, don't forget to double check who has access to what. Threats and attacks, the sneaky stuff. Phishing was a reoccurring villain in these questions, from spoofed emails pretending to be vendors or even the CEO. The test reminded me that phishing attacks can look super legit. There was also a ransomware scenario where isolation, not just powering off the machine, was the safest first step. And then there was the classic crypto miner situation. A laptop running hot, draining battery, and whirring like it's about to take off. Yep, definitely malware trying to mine coins on the sly. Encryption and secure communication. Protecting the flow. When you're transmitting sensitive data like credit card info through a mobile app, using the right protocol matters. One question gave options like MD5, AES, and SSL. SSL sounded fine, but the best answer was actually TLS, the modern and more secure version of SSL. It's a small but important detail that the test loves to highlight. Cloud and container security. Modern architecture, new risks. As companies shift to containers and cloud services, new risks pop up. A great example is how containers share system resources, which can make it harder to isolate problems. So, a misconfigured container could affect others. Also, when integrating with cloud-based systems, like a customer ticketing app, reviewing access controls is absolutely crucial to avoid leaking sensitive CRM data. Network security. Keep it simple, but secure. A small company with limited IT resources? No problem. Just choose tools that offer basic security and are easy to manage. That's where a web content filtering appliance comes in handy. It's user-friendly and perfect for basic web browsing protection. Meanwhile, if your website gets hit with tons of traffic and becomes unresponsive, you're probably looking at a denial of service attack. Incident response and recovery. What happens after the breach? It's not enough to have good defenses. You also need a plan for when things go wrong. One scenario described a ransomware hit where backups were available but slow to restore. The issue? No disaster recovery plan. And if your web server has a vulnerability, your first step shouldn't be launching a training session. It's checking for a patch. Misconfigurations and weird behavior. Sometimes it's not an attack, it's just a configuration issue. A user couldn't access a website, but no one else had the problem. Most likely, a misconfigured laptop, not a full-blown cyber event. Logs and monitoring. Your cybersecurity journal. Logs are gold when you're doing investigations. If a phishing email claims to be from the CEO, the email server logs are your best bet to track down where it really came from. And with so many alerts flying out of SIEM systems every day, it's important to regularly tune those filters to reduce false alarms and keep your team focused. User awareness, the human element. Finally, there was a great reminder that sometimes the best thing to do is give clear, smart advice. One user got a suspicious bank email. Rather than clicking anything or forwarding it, the safest move? Call the bank using their official number. Simple, effective, and something everyone should know. Final thoughts. This practice exam wasn't about picking the right multiple choice answer. It was about thinking like a security pro. It reinforced how cybersecurity is as much about people and processes as it is about tools and tech. If you're studying for Security Plus, I highly recommend doing a deep dive into these kinds of questions. They're the closest thing to real-world thinking you'll find on the test.